Welcome back to the Fixed Ops Roundtable. I am Ted Ings. We are in beautiful Albany, New York with the DePaula Automotive Group. I'm joined by Tom Rustino, VP of Operations. Tom, very impressive with your group so far.
Thank you so much. Thanks, Ted. Appreciate it. I am glad to have you here.
Oh, Tom, we've talked about it for a long time. A great honor to have to be here. And you've put together this panel. It's a topic that we haven't talked about at previous roundtable pop-ups, but I think it's just as important. It's on reconditioning in detail. So, gentlemen, I'll have you introduce yourself and what you do, starting here first.
My name is Jeff Gardy. I run the reconditioning and detail here at DePaula Ford. 17 years experience.
Excellent. Thank you, Jeff.
My name is Demetrius King. I run the detail and reconditioning at DePaula Chevy, and I have 6 years experience.
All right. So, gentlemen, and Jeff, I'll start with you first. There's never been as much importance as right now on used vehicles in the last year, 18 months, 24 months, and reconditioning and detailing them and getting them frontline ready. Talk to us about the importance of that detail and recon process here at DePaula.
It's very important. You want to be able to turn the car as fast as possible. We actually have rapid recon that we use. It tracks each and every step that you go through, starting from the car is received, meaning traded in, through the whole process, whether it's your detailing, your photos, going through service, and then rechecking the vehicle after everything is done, making sure we hit the 121 points that, the car needs.
Wow. And when does that process start? Because, I don't think you could ever start early enough.
So honestly, the process starts as soon as the customer leaves, the car gets traded in. As soon as it's stocked in, we actually grab that vehicle right then and at that point. And then, as we like to call it, the clock starts. Our goal is to get it to front line as fast as possible.
Yeah.
And quality.
And that doesn't happen by accident. That happens with another one of the Tom Rustino processes here, right?
Correct. That would be the rapid recon process, which is, it's very intense sometimes because you got to be on top of everybody because it's going through multiple different departments. It's not just one department. You're using other managers, your employees. It's a lot to keep up with.
I love it. Demetrius, from your perspective, the importance of that recon process here.
Very important. Here at DePaula, we take pride in the work that we do. From the second that we get the car, it's in our hands to make sure we streamline it through all channels to get it back frontline ready, but make sure that we don't miss a step in between to get this car to the quality that will make the customer satisfied.
And there are a lot of things that could happen, a lot of potential hiccups, right? That could happen with parts and so on and so forth. Talk to us about that because you're managing a lot of pieces, a lot of cars going on at one time.
See, most of all, attention to detail is the number one thing that we pay attention to. So anytime we run into hiccups, we have things in place that helps us streamline it faster. But when there are hiccups, we try not to panic. We realize there's one goal here, and that's to make our customers happy. So we just smile and we just move forward through any hiccup that we get.
Jeff, I see a lot of dealerships that work in silos where you've got new cars, very much separate from service, very much separate from used cars. How do you manage all those people as well as the cars as well in part of your process?
A huge thing is rapid recon. Again, that keeps track of everything for your used cars. As far as a new car, we actually have a get ready sheet. States, what time the vehicle's going, what the date it's going, if it needs accessories, if it needs the paint protection or interior protection. Yeah.
Love it. And Tom, from your perspective, you're very much aware of what's happening around the country with the market. When did this big focus on, I know you've always had it on detail, but when did it increase?
Recon came to us with Dennis McGinn about 10 years ago. We use it. It's just a guideline where you watch the buckets and keep everything pushing through. But more than rapid recon, it matters with the people that you have running it. These two gentlemen are superb on what they do is because there's such attention and they care about what they do. And when you talk about silos, there's no silos. They work together with the new used parts department, service department, because it's all part of it in order to move that car. And we watch it, we use it here at Mazda also, but that's a different process that we do. It's the same process with Rapid, but it runs through the shop. These are two separate departments that we have at these two other stores. And you got to have the right people. And they follow it to the T. People are the biggest piece that what we have here. That is just a great piece to have these two gentlemen here talking about it.
And Demetrius, you can't do this on a Excel spreadsheet anymore or with a clipboard. You know, there really is a science behind getting all this stuff done.
Technology has changed, and it's changed in our favor. As far as rapid recon, that was a real good tool that was put in place. We're very specific on notes, so at any moment we can go into our app and we can see at any space or any spot that the car is in. If we need to speed it up, we speed it up, slow it down. But with Tom putting the rapid recon in place, it helped us out at the Polar tremendously.
And Tom, you know, typically a lot of dealers say they want to get to, you know, just a couple days to get a vehicle front line ready. But, you know, in recent years, it has gone historically around the country from 15 to 10 days to 7, and we see it going less and less.
But you need a product to calculate, okay? Your spreadsheet's not going to do it because we thought we were doing such a good job until you really calculate it and see what you can do. With Rapid Recon, you know, because the minute it hits your DMS, that's when the clock starts. From trade or when you purchase that vehicle, the DMS starts. So you're also tracking how soon, if you're buying a car across the United States, how long is it getting that car back to you, whatever you're doing, because you're trying to locate cars from wherever they are across the United States. So what it's calculating is a time to line. How long is it taking from the minute you bought that car from your DMS to when it's frontline ready? And that's the big piece that you want to watch. And you have your average days in recon, of course, but the overall process from when you actually own the car is the biggest piece that we want to watch.
Gentlemen, last question for today, and Jeff, I'll come to you first and then Demetrius to bring it home. Let's talk about the people at the Paula, the people here at the dealership. If there's one thing that you want your fellow managers and fellow recon and detail folks from around the country who are watching today and dealers to know about the Paula in terms of the detail and recon process on the people side, what would you say it is? What is one thing that you'd want to share with them, you know, that's been successful and that's worked for you here?
I love when people have pride in what they do. It is the number one thing. When somebody doesn't have pride with detailing, you can tell through their work, without a doubt. As far as the reconditioning, it's the same way. Pride in your work. You want to make sure you're doing the job correctly and safely and making sure that vehicle is done correct.
Sure, and there's going to be a lot of eyeballs on that vehicle.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we have, again, to refer back to Rapid Recon, we have quality assurance. Before that vehicle hits frontline, you got to check through it. Got to make sure it's clean. Got to make sure, you know, no squeaks, no anything is going on.
Sure, I love it. Yep. And Demetrius, bring it home. One thing for your peers that you would want to mention to them.
Here at the Polar, we take pride in everybody working together. We have systems in place where each person helps another. So I just want to say to my Polar group, thank you. To anybody that's thinking about the Polar family, we are a great team to work with.
I love it. Tom, I'll give you the last word.
So true, isn't it, Demetrius?
So true.
Jeff, I mean, two quality guys that really work hard to get our deliveries and our reconditioning done. So kudos to them, and that's what it's about. Thank you.
Great. Great information here, everybody, at the DePolo Automotive Group. Our panel today on reconditioning and on detail. A lot more coming up. Stay with us at the pop-up event. We'll be right back at the Fixed Ops Roundtable.